Olivia, welcome to the Leadership Institute. Thank you for joining me today. So for those who don't know, you submitted a project proposal for a women's gender studies and pop culture class, but you failed the assignment because you used the words biological women, which the professor called an exclusionary term. Now, I'm interested to hear, what was the project? What did you submit? Like, what were you required to do, and what did you send to this professor that she failed you?
Of course, yeah. So we had to choose a topic regarding to feminism, and it was super broad. We just had to use 3 sources from class, like from the assignments that she sent us before, the notes, stuff like that, to support our work. So I chose to write about something that is very near and dear to my heart, which is men competing in women's sports. And in my proposal, I had outlined how I was going to be doing my project, and I was doing the rights and opportunities that women have had throughout time in athletics. And part of my project touched on the fact that those opportunities are being taken away from women each and every day by allowing men in biological women's sports. So then she had sent me a message after she failed me and said that it was exclusionary and contributing to heteronormativity.
That's really interesting, actually. And reportedly, she said that the professor said that it was a solid proposal. You just used an exclusionary term, which is really interesting because you didn't fail because the
Correct, yeah.
project was not up to standards, but you used biological women. Did you see this coming from the professor's behavior at all before class at all?
No, I didn't expect to be failed for saying biological woman. Like, that was her reasoning when she failed me, so I did not expect that. I could have expected a little bit of questioning to why I chose that topic because I know it's very controversial, but then again, it is a women's gender studies class, so I kind of assumed her to be, protecting of women and understanding that women's rights are being taken away.
Right. And what were your initial reactions to receiving this failing grade? Like,
I laughed.
You laughed
Yes.
immediately?
Well, because I didn't think it was real.
Did you email the professor afterwards and
I
ask,
did.
like...
Yeah, I was sitting in my kitchen when I got it, and I told my mom, I was like, look what just happened. She was like, what? A teacher just failed you for one word? So we came up with a respectful, professional email to send to her, just wondering what happened, I don't understand why I failed, stuff like that. And my response ultimately was that using this term was transphobic, exclusionary, and once again contributing to heteronormativity. And she said it wasn't allowed in her course, so...
Well, I'm really interested in hearing, what were the dynamics like between you and this professor after you received this grade? Were they really tense when you went to class?
It was
what
actually
that
a
like?
virtual class.
It was a virtual
Yes,
class.
so I didn't have to go in person.
Okay. Did you receive any, did you see any, declining in assignments after that? Did the effects, leak over into
That was
next
actually
assignments?
the last, assignment or grouping of assignments because this assignment was part 1 of 3 for a final project. The entire class was out of 200 points, and this project was worth 100 of those points. So failing this meant I was going to fail the next one, and the next one, just domino effect. So I was like, I'm going to fail this class. I think it put me at a 49% once she
Wow.
put in all the zeros. So that's the only effect I saw with my grading, of course, but we only had a few communications since the accident happened, and then it was left up to the administration.
And what's college like for you now? What's the dynamics between you and different students there now that everybody there knows your name?
I'm definitely nervous to go back in person once the fall semester starts, but since I'm online right now doing summer courses, it's okay. I definitely get a lot of threats and messages from students at school, don't come back, stuff like that, but it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, something really interesting that I would like to know is, has this incident at all deterred you from using words like biological men and biological women? Has this incident at all deterred you from continuing to use these in next class assignments? Are
No.
you going to continue to adhere to biological language, or are you going to alter the way that you submit class assignments and write them from now on?
No, if anything, it's just encouraged me to continue to speak my opinion because I'm going to call out professors who continue to do this to me and to other students and make sure it doesn't happen again. And if anything, the only language that's altered is I no longer want to call trans women. They are men. So I'm going to try my best to refer to them as men every time.
Well, great. That's amazing. And finally, a lot of conservative students that we see here at the Leadership Institute's Campus Reform we see them self-censoring their opinions on campus because they're afraid of something similar happening like this to them. Maybe they receive backlash from students, or maybe they receive a docked grade from a professor. Now, what would you tell those students who are concerned about speaking their conservative beliefs in class? What would you tell them? Would you tell them to remain, truthful to what they believe, or would you tell them to, in fear of receiving a docked grade or something like that, to tone back the language a little bit?
Yeah, I totally understand the fear of speaking up and challenging your professor and school. I was definitely very scared when I first decided to do that. But, once you actually challenge the professor and realize I'm sticking up for what's right and I'm sticking up for the future of America, then it's exciting to know that you're going to be part of the change that we need here. So please do speak up. Please challenge anything. If you are affected, if your grade is affected strictly for your opinion, speak up, challenge the school, tell someone. Someone will help you. There's tons of support.
Great. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Good luck
you.
in the future.
Thank you.